Hey YouTube world, I am back with another video with 2024 behind us, and we, in the past couple weeks during the holiday season, spending time with family, doing a lot of self-reflection on what had happened in the past year. Now we're shifting gears, going into 2025, where you're sitting down, setting goals for yourself. I see a lot of wish lists that is coming out where people are talking about what they are looking forward to, adding to their collection in terms of the luxury world or just anything in general. And of course, the no buy or low buy, no buy January. These kind of topics are very relevant in the month of January, and I love hearing about it from everybody and how everybody has a different mentality, what they plan on doing in the month of January, the Q1, or for the rest of the year. So I figure I jump in on the conversation, and it's a little bit unconventional, but just to hear a different perspective, and let's just have a conversation about it and learn from each other. So let's just get right into it. Let me give you 5 reasons why I don't set goals, I don't make wish lists, and it's just not something that works for me specifically. And that's something I learned about myself throughout the years. And of course, I've been on this earth for more than 3 decades, so almost 4 decades. So it's a little scary thinking about it. However, it's just, again, that's just my personality. I don't like setting goals unless it's like, work goals, monetary goals. But when it comes to wish lists and no buys, it's not something I call it no self-control, but I also think a little bit differently. And let me just go ahead and tell you why. In no particular order, let's just start off with wish lists. When it comes to wish lists, I don't make an annual wish list or anything like that. If I'm going to Paris, yes, you'll see me do wish lists, Paris wish list videos, but that's like a couple weeks in advance where I have a list of items that I know I've been wanting, that's been on the back of my mind, and I know that is the perfect opportunity to check them off because I'm going on vacation and prices are just better, for a lot of things in Europe. Those kind of lists I would make, but an annual wish list is not something, or just like a perpetual wish list is not something I do, just because I would want to check off as many as I can. And I'm a very driven person. I'm a very competitive person. If I were to make a list, I need to start checking things off. And that's not something I want to do for a, luxury wish list, especially a luxury wish list where a lot of it can be quite costly. The next point here is talking about no buys or low buys. I know a lot of people are doing no buy January, or it's kind of like the same thing, no drinking in January. It's not something I want to partake in, just because I have a whole entire video where I talk a little bit more in detail. So if you want to go check that video out, I'll link it down below for you and above. But if it's on sale, I'm gonna buy it, because Q1 and Q2 of every year, usually there are pretty decent sales because of seasonal changes, like winter jackets. They're gonna start going on sale. If I need a winter jacket, no, I don't need anymore. But if I do, that is the time to purchase. I also stock up in perishable items or things that needs to be replenished, such as skincare or makeup during sales season. So there is no urge for me to buy anything in January or February or low buy for the year, just because when there are sales happening in, certain seasons or certain months, I would literally just stock up for the entire year. So there's no sense of urgency, or there's no random buying like, hey, I need another lipstick. No, I don't need another lipstick. You've got 6 of them, right? Which goes hand in hand with the next point I like to make, which is if it's not on sale, you don't need it. I don't care if it's the latest release. I don't care if it's the latest Murakami collection or the latest Stanley Cup, the Wicked. Those are all trends that I don't adhere to. And that's probably why you'll never see me releasing any videos talking about the latest release of XYZ. It's just, for me, I buy what I like to buy. And to wrap up the first section here with my last point is that I don't create wish lists, because if I do create a wish list, I am consistently going back to my wish list. Remember how I said about checking off as many as I can on a particular list? It is a reminder of all of the things that I think I want. And if I don't have a wish list and I forget all about it, that just means that I didn't want it enough. Does that make any sense? Because to me, it makes sense. So that's the main reason probably why I don't create wish lists or will ever create a annual or perpetual wish list. The only wish list that I can think of, like this is like kind of like an asterisk kind of wish list, is the one I probably should start creating for my boyfriend. So he likes to go on a binge and randomly buy me things. And last year he bought me, the Kelly belt from Hermes for my birthday. Then he randomly showed up with a Hermes necklace, which is, I'm completely grateful, but it was completely just out of left field. And in order to prevent him from making a purchase of an item that I kind of don't like and go through the hassle of returning it or whatever, I'm thinking about creating a wish list, kind of like just a list of items with different price ranges, and then just give it to him because he called it quit your bitching kind of gift. So I'm going to create a boyfriend quit your bitching random gift wish list so that he can pick from it whenever he feels like it. So that's probably the only wish list I'll probably create this year. Before I go into what I actually do and implement and works for my lifestyle and personality, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you are new here, drop a comment down below. Do you make wish lists? Do you not make wish lists? Do you have a low buy, no buy? What is your philosophy? And let me know your thoughts on my perspective, which, like I said, it is kind of unconventional, where I'm talking about like no buys, low buys, whatever it is. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're new to my channel, just say hi. Love to welcome you to my channel. All right, let's talk about what I do. My philosophy is really just to make this part of your DNA. Like, this should be engraved in your everyday kind of mentality, mindset, whatever you want to call it. Number one, I am consistently scouring the web for sales, deals, any notifications, Instagram ads, little bookmarks of everything that I know are good websites to look on specific items, not to just always purchase them. It's really, yes, this is a lot of time spent on this. It's part of my DNA where I'm scouring for deals, but just to have a gauge of what the pricing of a particular item could be, or a range of items could be. Like, for example, specific earrings or perfume or, crock pots, whatever you're thinking about. There are specific websites and deals, like even going on Reddit, like, hey, President's Day is coming. Crock pots are usually on sale. Just kind of a random example, but just have like a mental note. Or if you want to keep a, Excel spreadsheet, I know it gets complicated, of all of the different deals. But there are a lot of people and a lot of resources at your fingertips where you can find the best deal. And if that happens just to be in January or February, I'm going to buy. Number two is really doing your research before you decide to purchase an item, right? Going back to your wish list, like you have it on your wish list. And I've seen a lot of videos where people, and this has happened to myself, like, oh, I used to want that, but do your research because they could fall off your wish list for XYZ reasons, or you paint the plunge and you purchase it. It's like, oh, I wish I did more research, right? So again, engraving this into your philosophy, and, as long as you keep doing your research before purchasing an item, you feel confident when you do purchase that item instead of an impulse buy, right? For me, I think a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't do, no buy January or low buy is because they have, and again, I'm guilty of this, where I impulsively buy something before I did a whole lot of research. And do not rely just solely on TikTok, Reels, and Shorts as your form of research. Watch more long form videos on YouTube, read up on Reddit, where the person, and I'm not just talking about me, but any other person that talks about a specific item and reviewing it, giving you every little bit of details, which is why I think my videos are so damn long, because I go into every little bit of detail. And that's the form I like, right? Because when I look at a lot of reviews out there, they spend 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and that's not enough information for me. For me to want to confidently buy something, I want a full-blown review. What I do is also take inventory of what you do have in your house. And while I love decluttering, if I'm just like sitting there, I'm bored, I'm watching a YouTube video, I would sit on the floor, go through all of my cabinets and see what I do have, right? Like, oh, hey, you had 6 different lipsticks, or you had, 50 different coats, or you have 20 pairs of sneakers. Like, you should really remember and take an inventory of what you do have. One, either get rid of it, or if you're no longer wearing it, or just like, hey, remember you had these, because 9 times out of 10, you forgot. It's been pushed back in the back of a cabinet and you forgot you even have those. Whether it's snacks, I do this in my pantry all the time, or makeup or perfume or just random little key pouches, whatever it is, you forget that you have it and then you go out and purchase another one because you thought you didn't have it. So take a mental note or an inventory on a regular basis so that you don't impulsively spend on something you actually already have and don't need. Which brings me to my next point, and it is something I exercise throughout the entire year. Like I said, build this into your DNA, is limiting yourself with what you cannot buy. And what I mean by that is specific items like, hey, you don't like black bags. I'm still guilty of this. If you saw my recent video where I bought a black bag and I was just like, okay, I need to return this because I don't reach for black bags. And that is something I need to keep check with myself, saying do not buy any black bags because you're not going to use it. Or perhaps no more designer shoes, because designer shoes, like, I'm incredibly rough on my shoes. I'm a complete klutz. I stub my toe, I ruin my shoes. So I've made the decision not to buy any more designer shoes just because, one, they're usually kind of uncomfortable for me. So I prefer comfort over fashion when it comes to shoes. Or perhaps like no more lipsticks. You already have 10, 15 different lipsticks already stocked up. You're not allowed to buy any more lipsticks. So just come up with a list of all of the things that you know that you shouldn't purchase because if it's impulsive, or perhaps you already came to the conclusion that this is something that you are not going to buy. The list is much shorter than, of course, completely abstaining for purchasing anything. In my opinion, it's just not realistic. And to wrap everything up, I know this sounds like girl math, but it is so true. Costs per wear. Look at your purse closet, look at your shoes, look at everything that you have, even in your kitchen. Costs per use, costs per wear. And this is such a big issue with my mom because I am so happy to be able to buy her a $10,000 bag, a $200 bag, whatever it is. I don't care, as long as she loves it and she is going to wear it, I am willing to make that purchase. The worst thing, and I get mad at her for this, is like, I buy you something, it's like, oh no, it's too precious, let's keep it on the shelf and keep it nice. The psychological thing that we have, like a battle between the two of us, is that for me, I rather buy a bag and use the shit out of it, get the cost per wear down to like 25 cents to 50 cents to $1, whatever it is. Get it down as much as possible because you are maximizing the money you spent on this particular item. All right, that was a long and yappy video, so I really hope you enjoyed my perspective. I know it's a little bit unconventional, but I hope you picked up an item or two, at least have some thought-provoking ideas when it comes to this video. And then, of course, drop a comment down below what your thoughts are, what you plan on doing, what you plan on not doing. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see y'all next time.